Although youth on suicide precautions should be housed in suicide-resistant rooms, they should be out of their rooms as much as possible. They need to be engaging in the essential activities that their non-suicidal peers are. Now, they'll require more intensive monitoring and supervision, and the activities may need to be modified for safety reasons, but they should be encouraged to literally engage in most, if not all, of the activities that their peers are engaging in. And suicidal youth should be in the same clothing as their peers, unless they're wearing shoelaces or belts, but I'm a big believer that no youth in custody should be wearing shoelaces or belts because they're all at risk for suicide. But they should be wearing the same clothes as their peers, unless they use their clothing to try to kill themselves. And in those instances, only that piece of clothing should be removed. Safety smocks should not be used unless in rare circumstances where it's indisputably clear that it's necessary for youth safety. And then and only then it should be done in collaboration with the qualified mental health professional. And speaking of qualified mental health professionals, we now have evidence-based treatments specifically targeting suicidal thoughts and suicidal behavior. We should be using those in our facilities when we're working with suicidal youth. Our goal for youth on suicide precautions is not to get them off suicide watch. Our goal is for them to no longer feel suicidal or no longer engage in suicidal behavior. This is Michael. Michael was 17, and before his arrest, he never had any trouble with the law. He was with his girlfriend Katie for over 2 years, and when she broke up with him, he was heartbroken. When he found out she was dating one of his closest friends, he was devastated. Michael saw Katie at a party, but she completely ignored him. So he got drunk, really drunk. He pulled her into one of the bedrooms and begged her to take him back. He pleaded with her, he cried, he tried to kiss her, and then she pushed him away and called him a loser. He pushed her down on the bed, he got on top of her, and he raped her. After his arrest, Michael sat in detention, more and more despondent each day. He was terrified he'd be transferred to the adult system. Katie hated him. His parents were paralyzed with grief on every level. He hated himself for what he had done to Katie. He hated himself what he had done to his life, and he knew that he had no one to blame but himself. Michael spent 3 days planning his death. While alone in his room during shift change, he made a noose from the blanket in his room. He tied it around the toilet, got on his knees, put it around his neck, and turned his body away and thrust it forward, cutting off not only his airway, but the blood vessels in his neck. A youth returning from a medical appointment just happened to be walking by Michael's door, looked inside his window and saw what was happening, and screamed for help.